I might have just witnessed one of the best movies ever? Okay, that is a pretty bold way to start a review, but I think I'm justified after having watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now before we get into it, this review will be spoiler free, so don't worry about any of that if you haven't seen the movie yet, but you should because it is really good. Now let's get into it. So in the last few years, Marvel have released many sequels. Thor Love and Thunder, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and Spider-Man No Way Home. But I believe James Gunn's new movie has a leg up on all of these movies because of its finality. Obviously, the marketing team took full advantage of this and did a beautiful job on the trailers, and they were emotional enough to get pretty much everyone ready in the mood to watch this movie. Also, this franchise feels like a complete trilogy. It doesn't rely on any of the other MCU movies like the Captain America trilogy, and the movies don't feel detached like the Iron Man trilogy. One of my favourite aspects is how James Gunn works with what he's been given. The death of Gamora isn't undone or cheapened in any way by this movie, and Gunn doesn't pretend like there wasn't 5 years where Rocket and Nebula were the only Guardians left. Gunn also doesn't try to fit too much into this movie. Unlike the other entries in this franchise, the threat isn't galaxy ending, but it merely affects only one of the Guardians team. You can feel the desperation of the other members trying to save his life. Like, for instance, usually when superheroes kill someone, it just doesn't seem justified or right. It feels at least unearned. But then, the one instance in this movie where the Guardians do kill someone, I felt like cheering because it feels totally earned and totally justified. Every fake-out death had me prepared for the worst and absolutely elated when a character survives. It obviously goes without saying though, that this movie is absolutely stunning to look at, and the CGI is some of the best we've seen from Marvel in quite a while. Rocket and Groot seem so present in all the scenes. All the new additions are also welcome. The High Evolutionary is an absolutely terrifying and extremely disturbing villain, and I love to hate him. Now, while I feel like there will be some people who'll be disappointed with the introduction of Adam Warlock, Will Poulter is perfect casting, and to fully develop him in this movie would have taken the focus off the Guardians and their emotional connection to each other. So I hope to see more of him in the future. And while this movie is a finale, it leaves the doors open for a return for lots of the characters in its post-credit scenes. And I personally would love to see more of this team and their characters, and of course the specific Guardian that we know is confirmed to return later on in the MCU. In conclusion, if you haven't watched this movie yet, you definitely should. Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the easiest MCU trilogies to watch without having to watch all the other movies, and it's so much better for it. James Gunn has done an absolutely terrific job with this finale, and I wish him the best of luck over at DC.